robins are back. They've actually been around this winter. It's mid-March right now. We can hear the birds. Robins are a little weird because they're their presence is very sporadic. They don't have like a definitive migration pattern. They kind of go where the food is. They are a big eater of berries, like red berries that you'll see on bushes here in the Midwest. Service berries, winter berries. What's the pyracantha is it produces a lot of berries that birds like, and so they'll kind of go where that is. But then the rest of the time they're on the ground, like eating bugs and worms, which I don't know what they think they're gonna find right now. It's like 30-something degrees, there's snow on the ground, and the worms are not very active, so I don't know. But they also start breeding, nesting pretty early, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're probably gonna start building their nests in a couple weeks, maybe next month. Yeah. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about snow on the grass. What happens to grass when it gets snowed on? Probably most of the U.S., I would say, does not get snow. So if you're in one of those climates, it might seem like an incredibly destructive force, but it's not really. This is part of my yard here. We got this snow a couple days ago. Oh no, wait, yesterday. Yesterday morning and Thursday night. Today's Saturday. It wasn't that cold, so it's crunchy now because it melted a little bit, and now it's you know, back to being frozen. But this is what my grass looks like after being in a lot of sub-zero temperatures, down to the teens, some wind, and yeah, just overall being cold and iced on. So basically what happens, it's kind of like the same thing that happens if you put lettuce in your freezer. The blades do freeze, and well, the first thing that happens in the fall is the grass goes dormant. Even cool season grasses, they don't grow in like frigid temperatures, they like cool temperatures, like 60 degrees. So the grass goes dormant, and that just means that it's not growing. It's not pulling up nutrients as much, it's not doing cellular biological activities nearly as much. Everything just slows down, chills out, if you will, pun intended. And yeah. So it slows down, it doesn't grow, and then people like me come over it and mow it. So it's short, and there isn't a lot of like floppy grass that's going over and kind of smothering the grass under it. And then let's take a good look under here, and then it just sits there, you know. Parts of it die. So this might be what you call snow mold, where it gets particularly frigid or something, and you know, the tops of the grass die. But what's important to the grass is the crown of the plant, which is kind of just above the surface, and as long as that's protected and still alive, the grass will still be okay. So the grass is fine, and areas like that do, and if you let the grass be long, you'll have probably more of that because there's more length of the top of the blade to actually die. Another thing that's interesting is that snow, although it sounds like it would be bad for grass in the sense that, you know, now you've got basically ice on top of this plant, but it's actually protective. So the temperature of ice is, you know, around the low 30s. If it's staying frozen, it's, you know, 32 or below. It might be a little bit warmer if it's starting to melt, but it's kind of a constant temperature. And what's really damaging is wind chills. And so the wind chill can bring, so if you freeze the crown and the ground enough, it will damage the plants even more. Some are more hardy than others, but the grass will survive, but you might get a lot more death, and it'll not recover quite as well. With the snow actually protects it, because When there's snow on the ground, now there's a layer between the extreme temperatures of the air, whether it's wind or anything else that's going on, or just the abrasion of wind that's going over it. So having a snow protection or a snow layer is actually a protection during the winter. We don't get as much snow or as much cold really here in Michigan as the old timers here will say. It's not like the 70s and 80s, which was a pretty interesting cooling period during that time. And so we'll have, you know, in February snow will melt. We do not get a lot of sun, but the temperature does go up a little bit. And so there is not a constant cover of snow most years. The first year we were here, which is in 2013, that was a polar vortex year, and there was snow on the ground almost the entire winter. It snowed so much. I thought that was normal for Michigan. Yeah, but there you go. Nothing profound here, just kind of an interesting tidbit of like, hey, what happens to everybody's lawns in places where it's covered in ice or something. So there you go. Still looking forward to new projects this spring, so stay tuned. Mowing season is coming. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, can feel the resurgence. It's cold, but it's brisk. It's sunny today. It's really nice. The birds are out. The dogs are barking. Well, it can't be perfect. All right, see ya.